Hello my friends, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing very well. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the patch notes for Update 73, which covers the Q Continuum Part 2. In this video, we'll go through the patch notes, and I've got to warn you right off the bat, there is a lot in here. I have a lot of thoughts, I have some concerns, but don't we always have concerns when it comes to Scopely? What they say and how they execute is a very different thing that we've seen every single month, isn't it? Kind of feels like more quantity this month than quality, where we had a huge benefit last month with the independent archives, and once again we're losing ground. So that's frustrating because I don't see they added anything new to the independent archives. So I don't see a lot of quality as far as that goes. So I will be advocating for that and for you all. But let's hop into it and let's talk about it because the players matter. All right, here we are. And before we hop into it, just a real quick reminder that if you haven't subscribed yet, but you've been watching my content for a while, please do so. It really does help me grow the channel and reach more players. And as you leave comments below, hit that thumbs up. It does get this video pushed out through YouTube more so I can help out more people. So that is super appreciated if you are willing to do that. And then also hit the bell notification so you know when I release new content. I have started releasing Star Trek Fleet Command and some other games just for fun, trying to expand the Grand Admiral Hunter gaming aspect of things. Star Trek Fleet Command will be my #1 game, but just so you know, I do have other stuff that I'm posting, but anything you can do to help get my videos out to more people and help more people would be appreciated. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll just try and do some of the highlights here. And there is a lot to go over, so some of it may be more brief than others. Let's jump right into the quality of life improvements. Is this really quality of life? It's not much. From what I can tell, the Faction Store bundle claiming streamlined the process of over 3,000 Faction Store bundles. Single purchase bundles have a flat animation, so really it's just how it's claiming it, I think. It's reducing the number of clicks required. Not much there. Menu loading times have been reduced. That's great. The game still struggles, so it did for me this morning when I was doing my morning claims, so that didn't seem to help, but maybe because it's patch day? I don't know. We'll have to see, but I don't see huge, like, quality. You can't call this quality, in my opinion, Scopely. Alrighty, so some of the stuff here that will be interesting to kind of talk about. Refinery interface enhancements. I do like that they have made it so that if you finish a loop that you won't have that as an option. For example, I think it was yesterday or the day before, some of my alliances like, hey, how come it's telling me on the Monavine tab that I have to build my Monavine? I'm like, did you finish your independent archives? Yeah, that's why. And no shame to him, but you know, Scopely should have had some better programming behind there when they release independent archives. It should say something like, it should have just taken that off right off the bat as part of their independent archive implementation last month, but at least it's coming out now. And it says that some are going to still persist there, but they're going to have it in future future updates. We'll have to see. But I do think that last month, the best thing for me last month, and it didn't affect me as much as the other players, I think because I need other loops like Mantis, although there is some Mantis stuff in the game, just other loops that I've finished, NX01, just different things I wish they'd add to the game that would be helpful, that I still do because I see value, but I don't have the time. Daily, weekly, monthly schedule update starting December 4th. Let's hop into that really quick and talk about it. I won't focus too much time on because of so we don't have a super long video because I know some of you hate that. But I want to cover the information for everyone, so I'll do my best here. Have the curve solo milestone. That will be interesting. Progress through various events to bolster your crew, gather resources, and achieve milestones throughout the month. Daily events Refractor. The previous 6 and 12-hour events scheduled over 11-day period have been restructured. Daily event solo milestones will now occur in 12-hour blocks and occur starting event reset and daily goal reset. Can we please get you to change the arenas to 12 hours, please? Thank you. Better consistency. Okay, that could be helpful. They've got research, they've got station upgrades, and these are broken out for example, levels 5 to 19, and they kind of tier it at different levels. So we'll see how well that works for you all. Hopefully the levels they've picked have been appropriate. Limited time ship upgrades, officer upgrades. Let's see here. 20 plus, they've added, let's see here, so fleet commander upgrades. I know a number of players that have unlocked all of their fleet commanders, so there's nothing else to spend on. So does that mean you're going to add more fleet commanders? I kind of wonder about this, but hopefully some of you will be able to take advantage of that, excuse me. Building and research upgrades, ship upgrades, limit time artifacts. Some of the stuff that they've added I like, but I'm worried, like this artifact one and the fleet commander one. I kind of worry about that because does that, and I haven't had a chance to really see any kind of, you know, at the recording this video, any kind of detail regarding their monthly schedule. Does this mean that you have an SMS for fleet commander upgrades that's going to happen on a regular basis? What the reward's going to look like, and are you still going to have the monthly events? I bet you will, or I bet they will. And if they do, does that mean you're going to add additional sourcing for materials and stuff for this, for the artifacts upgrade? If not, does that mean that most of us, because it's an SMS, Scopely, does that mean most of us are just going to be skipping these daily events still? It doesn't matter that you change it if you can't make things better. I don't know about the rest of you, but there's certain things like Spain the Temporal Disruptors is great, and they've added some additional sourcing, but it kind of feels like they're just hoping you're going to spend more money. And for you who spend money, I would love to hear from you if you think this is a good structure for you. I'm trying to mainly talk at the moment for the free-to-play and kind of what they might find valuable. So I would love some spending bigger players comments down below if you wish. So I really don't know. We'll have to see how that goes for the everyday player. Event schedule, event reset, fleet commander, ship upgrades, buildings, research, and limit time artifacts. Okay, so hopefully they're adding some more sourcing and they continue to do that for those different things. One thing that I have noticed is that I got the Ferengi Whip, and now because of that and just other things in the game, I've unlocked quite a few forbidden tech items, but I can't really upgrade them because I don't get enough tier-up catalysts. And I believe down here in the 20 plus, I think they've got, there's events somewhere here. We'll scroll through and we'll probably see it, but they've got events for, I think, regular events for that. We'll talk about that in a minute, I guess. Pinnacle of Power events. They used to just have this for, I think, G5 players, so if you're over 50, where every day it would alternate from one day it'd be attacking hostiles, the next day would be mining. So now it looks like hopefully the rewards are worth it, but they're adding that to, was this 20 plus players. So that will be good. Hopefully the events are worth it. Weekly event schedule. I'd love to hear from you all and what you think of this. I like that it kind of feels like they're adding, kind of structuring it in a way so that you don't feel like you have to do everything every single day. So that's good. Money Monday, still have that. Tech Tuesday. This is the one I think I was thinking about just a minute ago. If I'm going to be saving my catalysts, which I don't have enough Catalyst to work on one forbidden tech, let alone all the forbidden tech I've been able to unlock. But hopefully they keep adding more stuff to the game. Now, this is a solo leaderboard, but with all these things they're adding, I just feel like I can't compete with a solo leaderboard as it is. I feel like they need to add more to this game. Let me know what you think, if you agree. But at least the SMS shouldn't be too bad. That's killing hostels and using your trial bells or your taco bells, as some people have called that. Final Weapon Wednesday, FKR Armada directives or Zindi weapon directives. Once again, I don't get enough of these to launch these on a regular basis. So hopefully there's some focus rewards on that. It's interesting. They want to spend FKR Armada directives on this, but hopefully that includes uncommons. Because what is it, on Thursdays, I think they've got the Vindicator events for spending directives. Now we know you can do that with solo directives, so that does help, but does make me wonder, these different events that they have, are they adding additional sourcing to make some of this easier? So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we have, what we can do. Cube Thursday, using your board cube, basically. Voyager Friday, using your Voyager ship. Cosmic Saturday. One thing I do like is that they've added the Protector to a weekly event on Sundays. We'll have to see what the rewards are like, because one of my biggest beefs or problems that I have with all this content that they're talking about here, especially lately, and one reason why I may or may not buy the new ship. If I do spend some, I might just get, if they offer it, a 50% unlock, just to speed up the process, because as a G6 player, I could see it as helpful. We'll talk about that in a minute. So we'll have to see what I decide to do with that. But one of my biggest problems is that, like, the Protector, the Vindicator, the Eviscerator, all these ships they keep throwing at us, they do add to the game, but they're such a pain to tier. So hopefully with the Protector, hopefully we're getting enough stuff from doing these events that it actually helps with leveling the Protector. One interesting thing here is talking about the Swarm, which I don't do anymore because it's not worth it to me. But it looks like, let's see, building the Franklin A and conquer the Swarm, unlock new challenges, and receive a weekly Beyond the Threat officer's gift. So we'll have to see what that entails, because I don't know. I'm encouraged to actually participate in these events to maximize the progression. I want to be clear about my opinion here, and that is that as I've said before, one of my kind of sayings, right, is to keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun, and don't let Scopely tell you how to play this game. If you are overwhelmed, don't feel obligated to do certain loops. Do the stuff you find most valuable and skip the rest. I'd hate to see some really good friends leave the game because they're burned out and they don't see the progression. So I'll say that, and I hope that message comes across, because just because Scopely says these things are better doesn't mean it's actually going to be that impactful to you and your gameplay. So that is that. Let's talk about the SS Revenant, and a shout out to, I think it was Lloyd in my stream. He came up with the name. Let's start calling it the SS Irrelevant. Why? Because we're sick of Scopely shoving new ships down our throat. Like every single month or every other month, we're getting like a new ship, and it's just, oh, burned out from all the new ships. Okay. It does look cool. I think it's going to add resources, materials, speed ups. I think it's going to add a lot to your game. I think it's Scopely's answer to them being able to release G7 content. And what I mean by that is that they need more players moving G5, G6, heading towards G7. So when they release G7, that the whales have enough players to compete with, and they don't have the same problem when they release G6. So I think this is that answer to it. And obviously they're monetizing it, but let's open up the game real quick and look at the refinery. One thing I do like, and you have to go to Refinery Continuum, one thing I do like is that they've got day one sourcing. It's like 200 blueprints. You can get 2 a day, so it's 100 days. That's typical time for Scopely. I wish they would make it 2 months, but that's just me. I feel like you push things out too far, and then the excitement of getting a new ship is lessened. But maybe they're full of, if we lessen it to 2 months, we'll lower our income, our revenue that we're making from selling these packs. So I get that from a business standpoint anyways. But anyways, regardless, rather than waiting a month to release the 100-day path, it's immediately available on day one, which I think is great. So kudos to Scopely for that. You can get some Chaos Tech as well. I think I got 1 shard of the cannon this morning, so it's not much, but it's something. So hopefully they'll be able to continue to add things to that. That's helpful. Okay, Borg loot. This, I think, has, at least from me and my perspective, is looking at it. What does it have for the G4, G5, G6 players? And I'm guessing this has the 4-star stuff because it's still just, you know, tier 1. But even at this level is giving a decent amount of resources here. It gives the fabricator chip, and all of these are guaranteed, it looks like, which is great. So we'll have to see how that goes. But then we've got, it looks like, different loot, and we'll do a video once we can figure out some of this, right? But you're going to have to hit hostels. You're going to have to do armadas. I think there's solar armadas with a single ship, I believe. So anyways, this is interesting. Once again, all guaranteed. So we'll have to see what the payout is for these. I'm hoping that the resources, materials, and I'm hoping for the G6 players like myself and you, when you get there, if you're not there yet, that it has the Sigma stuff, not just resources, materials, but it also has hopefully the Sigma speed ups, because I know that's a big bottleneck for a lot of players. And then it has ore, crystal, and gas for the various levels you're at. And even at 1, that's not a bad, because, you know, not bad. Guaranteed rare 410. I mean, that's not horrible. It's not. So anyways, that's something we'll have to look at. And then I think the refinery will probably just have, we can look at that later, but probably just sorry, not refinery, the research probably has some good stuff there to help out the ship. So we can look at that when we take a closer look at the ship itself. So do I think it has value? Yes. Is it worth it? That's something you'll have to look at your budget and determine if it's worth it to you or not. It's actually something you could hold off on and just wait for 3 months to get, well, you know, FOMO, for fear of missing out. If that's you, you're going to buy the ship. If you're patient, you'll still get the ship. You just have to hit the hostels and do the turn-ins. So we won't focus too much on that. We'll talk about the ship later on. It's also been called the Stella 2.0 because there's scrapping. Now, it's not regular scrapping as I understand it, like the Stella, but it's still something you'll have to strategically scrap at certain points, certain levels. So new Chaos Tech, I like that they don't have just PvP stuff this month. Increasing Apex Barrier and Shield Health for the Soren's Trilithium. Enaran Execution Post. I like this one because it's going to help you with the Gorn Hunters, getting a pretty big boost to the loot and doing increased isolate damage up to whatever %. But once again, it's new Chaos Tech, so you're going to have to, let's scroll up here, new Chaos Tech, so you're going to have to work the new loop to get the new stuff, right? The Unimatrix Shielding, this one's interesting, increasing base weapon damage, isolated defense, reducing opponent's isolated cascade damage. This one actually looks pretty helpful. So for some of these, I'm hoping there's some free-to-play sourcing at some point. Multiphasic chamber, I like this one in a way because it's increasing your warp range, but also warp speed up to 500%. For me as a G6 player, it takes me like 10 minutes to do my dailies, to get to a system where I can do my dailies. So that would be huge. Let's look at the Explorer Retaliation Squad. So we had PvP officers last month. We have some this month. Soren's got this ability to apply burning as a captain, captain's maneuverability, officer ability. He's going to increase your apex barrier, so that's cool. I think I found that they seem to be adding more and more officer abilities and whatnot, different things to the game, trying to maybe balance out PvP. So we'll see how that goes. Romy rare, officer ability against players with burning. She increases isolate defense up to 200%, and below deck, if they're afflicted by hull breach, she's going to increase your apex barrier. Once again, some decent apex barrier amounts there. Miss Q, officer ability. Let's see, if they're burning, increasing cascade damage by up to 120%, and below deck, remodulate the shields. Morale against players, increases an apex barrier by up to 15,000. So yeah, they're adding some new PvP officers, trying to bounce things out is what it looks like to me, so we'll have to see how effective they are. Check Discord, follow up with all of us. They haven't released the promo code yet like they do every month. This is interesting, something I don't have the money to buy, but field repairs on your board cubes whole health points. That can be useful if you're using it to hit hostiles. If you're doing solo armadas with it in the G6 area like I am, that can be helpful too. Hopefully they add it to like a tournament store or to event store somehow, so that you can, as free-to-play, start working on that. Sleigh bells, increasing isolated defense. Countdown cannon, all mitigation stats by 20%. Okay, and then new missions, and one other thing I'm interested in is this legacy reel. That'll be interesting. I really like seeing the last one. Maybe I can make a video of the one I get this time. And if you're in my Discord and you want to create or you want to do that one and save it and share it with us in Discord, I'd love to see it. I really would. Let's see here. The free avatars frames. I think this one, let's see here. Choose their preferred materials using tokens. So apparently last month people really liked that, and we're having a common theme that's going to continue with that. So you'll have to let me know. I thought it was fantastic. I was able to choose what I liked, but the danger is that you accidentally don't get something that you actually need because you don't plan well enough ahead, I guess. Maybe Scopely thinks we all have massive spreadsheets, so we know exactly what we want. I don't think everyone does. So yeah, hopefully that's something that doesn't totally make you mad and want you to leave the game, but it is what it is. So that's the patch notes. I think there's some good stuff with the ship. I'm concerned about the sourcing a little bit. I'm obviously concerned about some of the events that they're adding and how some of the structure there may change. But once again, I'd love to hear from you all. I'd love to hear your feedback and what you think. If you like any of the new content that it looks like they're coming out with, or is it just something that you're like, meh, it's another meh month for me. I'm hoping that Scopely will look. Here's my thing, and I'm just going to be 100% honest and frank with you about this. And maybe because I don't have an NDA with Scopely that I feel like I can with you all. Maybe in the NDA they're not supposed to talk bad about Scopely. I don't know. Sorry for anyone that does. I don't want to shame you for that, but I'm going to be honest. I think that Scopely has this business model where they keep pushing out these new ships because they know it makes money. But at some point, we as the players get burned out from all that. We're like, stop throwing new ships at us every single month or two. We need time to do something else. And it feels like that's all they know how to do, is to push packs and to push ships and to monetize the heck out of this game. But I promise you, Scopely, I'll promise you this. If you make this game fun, people will spend money. I guarantee it. If you make it monotonous, boring, and you're constantly doing the same thing, constantly releasing new ships, people are going to quit. I guarantee it. I've already had players tell me that how frustrated they are that you keep releasing new ships. And granted, people are going to... Look, if I'm being completely honest, and I will be right here with you, and I always try to be, but if you're constantly releasing new ships just to make money, you know, players are always... As players, we're always going to complain. That's just what it is. But remember that complaints are chances for discourse, discussion, and understanding. That even though players are complaining, like we're always going to complain, that it actually means something. There's something behind it all, right? So even though we're always going to complain and the free-to-play are always going to want everything free, I think that from a business standpoint, there has to be a balance, right? But we keep talking about burnout and things we would like, but I think when it really comes down to it, like I said before, you make this game fun, people will stay. People will continue to stay. They'll be engaged. They'll spend more money. And at the end of the day, isn't that what you want? I think that's what you want. I think if you give us what we want by doing fun things in the game that don't feel like you're shoving money spending content down our throat 100% of the time, but you actually make fun things for us to do, this game is going to go for many years. If not, it's kind of spiraling down. So here's a shout out to Scopely. Let's get some of this fixed. Let's change the focus here. Let's focus on what can Scopely do as a company to make this game fun and engaging, rather than shoving packs down our throat and ships down our throat. So anyways, that's my video, that's my rant, that's my soapbox, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hit me up on Discord, and let's try and find the fun no matter what you do. Keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun, and don't let Scopely tell you how to play this game. Live long and prosper, Commanders, and I'll talk to you next time.